WDAV's content director, and I'm the MC for the event this afternoon. We're going to begin the program in about 5 minutes. And because we're broadcasting this event live, we need to start punctually. So if there are still audience members being seated, we're asking ushers to do that as quietly as possible once the broadcast begins. Also, since this is a live radio broadcast, you are a part of it. And we know that you'll want to applaud enthusiastically after you hear from each of the terrific ensembles. But we'll also want to hear from you at a few other points throughout the broadcast, such as at the top of the show in just a couple of minutes, when we introduce our judges to you, and then when each ensemble comes out to perform. And in order to help you remember that, we've got an audience prompter. We've got Peter Hohenstein down front. He won't lead you astray. He'll make sure that you clap at the right time. So please go ahead and silence your phones now, but I'm going to ask you not to turn them off because you're going to want them later when we text, or you can text your vote for the People's Choice Award, and I'll give you those instructions when the time comes. There's no intermission for this afternoon's program, so if you need to leave the hall to use the restroom or whatever, then please do so as quietly as possible. And now we're going to stand by for another couple of minutes and await the cue from Peter for the first round of applause to begin this afternoon's program. So thank you all for coming, and you're in for a real treat, and I'll see you in a moment. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here, and welcome to the Young Chamber Musicians Competition from WDAV Classical Public Radio. I'm Rachel Stewart. I'm WDAV's content director, midday announcer, and the host of Biscuits and Bach on Sunday mornings. And I'm going to be your MC for this concert of brilliant performances by the best and brightest young ensembles around today. Now in its 7th year, the Young Chamber Musicians Competition was created by WDAV to provide a boost to talented musicians who represent the future of classical music. And we'll certainly see that talent on full display today, as 4 of the nation's top young ensembles have traveled here to Davidson. They really are quite remarkable. We're going to begin with the junior division, where we have 2 fine piano trios, one from the San Francisco Bay Area and the other from Atlanta. And then in the senior division, we've got ensembles from 2 outstanding music programs who are going to go head to head. One comes from the Cleveland Institute of Music, and the other is from New England Conservatory in Boston. I'd like to take a moment to thank the many sponsors who make this competition possible, and I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until the end of this list. WDAV is grateful for the support of Steinway Piano Gallery of Charlotte, Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, and the real estate firm Fifth Broker. Quo Vadis is the sponsor of the video broadcast of the competition. And for those of you listening at home, you can go to WDAV's Facebook page, or you can visit ycmc.wdav.org to watch the competition. YCMC's meal sponsor is Earth Fare. WDAV also thanks Trinity Episcopal School for sponsoring student tickets, so hello to all of our young listeners in the audience today. And finally, the recording session was awarded to the winners of YCMC's, or will be awarded to the winners of YCMC's senior division, and that's made possible by a generous gift from Catherine and Wilton Connor. So let's have a round of applause for the Connors, who are somewhere in the audience, and to all of our sponsors. In a little while, I'm going to tell you how the finalists for today's competition were selected and how the winners will be chosen. But right now, we're going to get right to it. We're going to enjoy our first performance. The first half of today's competition features 2 excellent ensembles competing in our junior division. And so we're going to bring out our first ensemble in the junior division this afternoon, a piano trio from the Young Chamber Musicians program in Burlingame, California. And I think I see them over there. Yes, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Evita Trio. So Sarah has agreed to introduce the ensemble to you. So why don't you do that and tell us a little bit about what you're playing.
Hi, I'm Sarah Wren. I'm the pianist for the Evita Trio. This is Inso O, our violinist, and that's Elliot Kim, our cellist. And we're all juniors in high school. So we started playing together in fall of 2020, and we formed under the Young Chamber Musicians program that's based in Burlingame, California, and its name is coincidentally very similar to the competition that we're doing right now. Our first piece that we will be performing today is the first movement of Mendelssohn's Piano Trio in C minor, Opus 66. So when we chose this piece, we actually hadn't been playing together for that long, but we had been listening to this piece for quite some time. So when we were offered the chance to work on all the movements of this piece, we decided to learn it, and we chose the first movement to play for today. Our second piece is the third movement from Cassado's Piano Trio in C major. It's just a really fun and exciting piece to both play and listen to, so I hope you guys will enjoy our performance of both of these pieces, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Okay, we'll get to enjoy the Evita Trio. So that was the Evita Trio. They're off stage, but I think they deserve another round of applause. They have come to Davidson for the competition from the Young Chamber Musicians program in Burlingame, California, and they performed the third movement from Gaspar Casado's Piano Trio in C major, and before that, the first movement from Mendelssohn's Piano Trio number 2 in C minor. The Young Chamber Musicians competition kicked off back in December when we asked ensembles to submit 2 video performances from contrasting musical periods. And then from these submissions, we narrowed the field down to the 4 finalists that we have today, 2 from the junior division and 2 from the senior division. Now, each of our 5 jurors are going to make their independent decision for the best ensemble in each division. I'd like to point out that at this stage of the competition, all of the ensembles are in fact winners, and none of them are going to leave here empty-handed. $9,000 is going to be split between the 4 finalists, with the first place finisher in the senior division winning $3,500, and the junior division winner will walk away with $2,500. The senior division champion is also awarded the Catherine and Wilton Connor Recording Prize, which is a 2-day recording session at WDAV's John Clark Performance Studio. And then they'll also be invited back to perform in Davidson as part of the Davidson College Concert Series next season. Members of our junior division champion group will each receive a scholarship to the Brevard Music Center Summer Institute and Festival, and this amazing prize is provided by the Brevard Music Center. And that's not all. There is a $1,000 People's Choice Prize that is awarded by you, the audience, both here and at home. And once all 4 ensembles have performed, we'll ask you in the audience to choose your favorite ensemble. That's why we want you to keep your cell phones ready. Just keep them in silent mode so we don't have any unintended distractions from the wonderful performances that you still have to hear. Instructions will be projected on the screen in the performance hall here and also read aloud for listeners tuning in and posted at ycmc.wdav.org for folks who are listening to the competition on the radio or online. Our second ensemble competing in the junior division is also a piano trio, and they represent the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. And I'm going to tap dance for a minute because they're still making their way up the stairs, but I think I see them coming around the corner right now. They are the Sycamore Trio, so thanks so much, and give them a round of applause. So Tobias here has been nominated to introduce the group. So can you tell us who you are and what you're going to perform?
Hello, we are the Sycamore Trio. This is Grace Pung on piano, Brandon Leonard on cello, and I am Tobias Liu on violin. We cannot express how grateful we are to WDAV for giving us this opportunity. It's really been a special and memorable experience. The first piece we'd like to play today is the first movement of Mendelssohn's Piano Trio in D minor. It has this tension between luxurious melodies and this dazzling, agitated excitement that we have absolutely loved to work through, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. The second piece will be the fourth movement of Shostakovich's second piano trio in E minor. Written after the death of Shostakovich's closest friend, and during World War II, when reports of the atrocities committed in concentration camps first came out, we were struck by the emotional weight of its music and its continued relevance in the world today. We look forward to sharing it with you.
Tobias. The Sycamore That's the Sycamore Trio. And one more round of applause for them. Thank you. They are from Atlanta, Georgia, and from the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra, and they perform the fourth movement from Shostakovich's Piano Trio No. 2 in E minor, and before that, they played the first movement of Mendelssohn's Piano Trio in D minor. So this is a reminder to all of you who are listening at home that we are streaming video of today's competition, so you can see what's going on if you go to WDAV's Facebook page, or you visit ycmc.wdav.org to watch the competition. So we've just concluded the junior division portion of the competition, and now we're going to move on to the senior division. And our first ensemble in the senior division is a piano trio from the New England Conservatory in Boston. So please welcome Trio Gaia. So Grant has agreed to introduce everybody and talk about what you're playing.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all of you as well for being here. We're Trio Gaia. My name is Grant Houston, and I play the violin. This is Andrew Barnwell, and he's our pianist, and Ime Templeman plays the cello. The three of us got together a few years ago in undergrad, all at NEC, and we didn't necessarily know at first that we were going to turn into a real chamber group. We sort of just got together, had a little jam session, and then it turned into something a lot bigger, and so it's been a great adventure for us, and we're thrilled to be here. The two pieces we'll be playing are by Schumann and Beethoven. The first piece, Robert Schumann's Piano Trio in D minor, is really enjoyable for us to play because it takes us on sort of an emotional journey, and we hope that you'll be able to sort of come along that journey with us. And the Beethoven last movement of his Opus 1, No. 1 trio is just ecstatic to play. So I hope that some of that joy comes across to you. So thank you again for being with us.
Thank you. Trio Gaia. Trio Gaia from the New England Conservatory of Music. Again, Trio Gaia, they performed the final movement of Beethoven's Piano Trio in E-flat major, and they also played the first movement from Schumann's Piano Trio No. 1 in D minor. Now we've got something a little bit unexpected. You may have noticed that with the Sycamore Trio, the Shostakovich ended quickly, sooner than we expected. Well, we had a little bit of an instrument malfunction. We had a cello string break. So we're going to bring Sycamore Trio back on stage. Here they are. And this is from Shostakovich's Piano Trio No. 2 in E minor. It is the Allegretto Adagio. That's the Sycamore Trio, and they're from Atlanta, the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra in Georgia. And we heard the fourth movement from Shostakovich's Piano Trio No. 2 in E minor, and I'm really glad we got to hear the whole thing. A nice recovery after a broken cello string. So they're, as a reminder, they're in our junior division, and we'll have our final performance from our other senior division contestant in just a moment. Before we bring out the final ensemble, though, let's meet our judges for this competition. We've got violinist Jason Posnock, who is the Vice President and Chief Artistic Director at Brevard Music Center. And you all feel free to stand or wave to the crowd so that they'll know who you are. Mr. Posnock serves as the concertmaster for the Asheville Symphony Orchestra, and he has performed regularly in such prominent American ensembles as the Philadelphia Orchestra and the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. So welcome, Jason Posnock. Our next juror is Dr. Mira Frisch, who is professor of cello and director of string chamber music at UNC Charlotte. Dr. Frisch has performed with the Charleston Symphony, the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra, and with the Madison Park String Quartet and Charlotte Strings Collective. So please welcome Dr. Mira Frisch. Dr. Marcus Thompson has appeared as viola soloist with many of this country's leading symphony orchestras, recital series, and chamber festivals. This year, he completed his 12th season as artistic director of the Boston Chamber Music Society, and he's been a member of the viola faculty at the New England Conservatory of Music for more than 3 decades, and professor of music at MIT for more than 4. And in June of 2015, he was appointed to MIT's highest faculty honor, becoming one of 13 institute professors. So welcome, Dr. Marcus Thompson. Cary Giles is the assistant concertmaster of the Charlotte Symphony, and she's a passionate chamber musician and is a founding member of the Madison Park String Quartet, Revolution Strings, and the Charlotte String Collective. Ms. Giles also serves as adjunct professor of violin at Winthrop University and coaches with the youth orchestras of Charlotte. So welcome to Cary Giles. And Dr. Marcus R Pyle is the Franco Professor of the Humanities and Assistant Professor of Music at Davidson College and a concert violist. His prior appointments have been at Tufts University and MIT, and Dr. Pyle earned a Master's of Arts from the Juilliard School, a Bachelor's of Music from the Royal Academy of Music in London, a Master's of Arts in Comparative Literature from Dartmouth College, and a PhD in musicology from New York University. So please welcome Dr. Marcus Pyle. Thanks so much to all of these fine musicians for sharing their expertise with us today and serving as jurors. So we have one more ensemble for you, and this time it's a string quartet. They're from the Cleveland Institute of Music, and they are competing in the senior division. Please welcome to the stage Kiklos Quartet. So I believe, Nathaniel, you have agreed to introduce everybody and talk about what you're playing.
Hello, everyone. We are the Kiklos Quartet from Cleveland Institute of Music. We have Min-Chae Kim on violin, Yoon Lee on violin, and Ariel Fentress on viola, and myself, Nathaniel Hoyt, on cello. We are so thrilled to be here in Davidson this weekend. And we want to thank our hosts, our wonderful hosts from WDAV. They've just made us feel so at home and welcome this whole weekend. So it's a real pleasure being here. We'll be playing movements from 2 different pieces for you today. The first we'll play will be Mendelssohn String Quartet number 6 in F minor, the first movement. This was a very personal piece for Mendelssohn. His sister, Fanny Mendelssohn, also a famous composer, had just died, and he was very close with her. And this was considered almost an homage to her. And it bore the title Requiem for Fanny. So this was a very personal and heartfelt work, and you can really hear the angst of his heart, the heart wrench in the music. The next piece we'll be playing will be Bartok String Quartet number 2, second movement. This is also a heavy piece written during World War I. And Bartok is famous for incorporating a lot of folk melodies and folk elements of Hungarian folk music into his compositions. And this work is no exception to that. You can definitely hear a lot of those elements present. So I hope you enjoy these 2 phenomenal works by Bartok and Mendelssohn. Thank you.
Thank you. Kyklos Quartet. That was the Key Close Quartet. They're from the Cleveland Institute of Music, and they performed the second movement from Bartok's String Quartet No. 2. They also opened with the first movement of Mendelssohn's String Quartet No. 6 in F minor. Well, that concludes the performance portion of the Young Chamber Musicians Competition. The judges will now turn in their scores to be tallied, and in a moment we'll announce the runners-up and the winners in each age group. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to do something that you don't often hear in a classical concert, and that is to take your phone out and make sure it's turned on. So go ahead and do that, get your phone out, and as we're waiting for members of the audience to get their phone out here in the hall, just a reminder that it is time for you, the audience here and at home, to select the winner of the 2022 People's Choice Award. And this is a $1,000 prize that will be awarded to the ensemble that receives the most votes from you, the audience. So to vote, you want to go to www.slido.com, and that is SLIDO.com. And once you're at slido.com, you're going to enter YCMC 2022, where it says enter code here. And again, that is YCMC 2022, with no spaces. And do that where it says enter code here. All right, this is going to take you to a page where you can select your favorite ensemble that you heard this afternoon. And to refresh your memory, in the junior division, we started with Evita Trio from Burlingame, California. They were followed by the Sycamore Trio from Atlanta, Georgia. And then in the senior division, we heard the trio Gaia from New England Conservatory. And finally, the fourth ensemble that we just heard, Key Close Quartet from the Cleveland Institute of Music. And just as a reminder, because we had an unexpected instrument malfunction, Sycamore Trio did play They're Shostakovich after Trio Gaia, so don't get those two confused, okay? It's one vote per person. Voting will close in 3 minutes. And again, for the listeners at home, you go to slido.com and enter YCMC 2022 with no spaces in the field. And one more time, that is slido.com, SLIDO.com. If you're having any trouble, you can go to ycmc.wdav.org, and we've got instructions posted there. So go ahead and vote now. I'll be back in a few minutes with the results of the voting and the winners selected by our esteemed jurors. And in the meantime, you can enjoy this performance by the Evita Quartet, winners of the most recent Young Chamber Musicians competition. You'll hear them playing the fourth movement from Leos Janáček's String Quartet number 1. So you just heard the fourth movement from Leos Janáček's String Quartet Number 1, and that performance was by the Evita Quartet, winner of the 2019 Young Chamber Musicians Competition. And we've been listening to that performance while we await the results of this year's competition, which I have right here. The final scores have been tallied. The results are in. And first, we're going to award the $1,000 People's Choice Prize as selected by both the audience here in Duke Family Performance Hall and to folks listening on the radio and online. And to present the award, we've got Will Keibel, who is director of the Young Chamber Musicians Competition. Okay. The winner of the People's Choice Award and $1,000 is Sycamore Trio. Congratulations to the Sycamore Trio. Again, they are the winner of the Young Chamber Musicians Competition People's Choice Award of $1,000. Okay, now we're going to award our top prizes in the junior and senior divisions. The winner for the junior division, a $2,500 purse and $3,000 scholarships to the Brevard Music Center Summer Institute, as selected by our jurors, is Sycamore Trio. Congratulations again to the Sycamore Trio. I guess they could stay on, except they're not in the senior division, so they can't win that. The winner of the senior division and $3,500 plus the Catherine and Wilton Connor Recording Prize as selected by our jurors is Trio Gaia. Congratulations, Trio Gaia. They are the winners of our senior division this year. So again, I want to congratulate all the winners. The People's Choice winner is Sycamore Trio. The winner in the junior division is Sycamore Trio, and the winner in the senior division, Trio Gaia. Just a reminder that the runners-up in each division do not walk away empty-handed. Our second place finishers in the senior division will receive $1,750, while the junior division runner-up receives $1,250. So let's have another round of applause for all of our competitors. They were all wonderful. And we want to welcome them all back to the stage right now. First, from the junior division, it's the Evita Trio from the Young Chamber Musicians program in Burlingame, California. Next, from the Atlanta Symphony Youth Orchestra, the Sycamore Trio. From the senior division, welcome back Trio Gaia from the New England Conservatory in Boston. And finally, the Key Close Quartet from the Cleveland Institute of Music. Congratulations to all of you. You all had amazing performances. You're all amazing ensembles, and thank you so much for participating this year in the Young Chamber Musicians competition. Thank you. So that brings our program to a close, and thanks again to our presenting sponsors, Fifth Broker, Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, Quo Vadis, Steinway Piano Gallery of Charlotte, Earth Fair, and Trinity Episcopal School. WDAV also thanks the Brevard Music Center for awarding YCMC's Junior Division champions with scholarships. And you can visit brevardmusic.org for details about the Institute and their upcoming season. Thanks also to this year's judges, Cary Giles, Marcus Pyle, Marcus Thompson, Mira Frisch, and Jason Posnock. And thanks to Catherine and Wilton Connor for the recording session that will be awarded to the Senior Division champion and for their continued support of the Young Chamber Musicians competition. We also want to thank the staff of WDAV, the Duke Family Performance Hall, and the Davidson College Communications and Music departments for their efforts in putting this program together, and the broadcast team, audio engineer Josh Sacco, broadcast engineers Jim and Larry Schroep, production manager Bruce Scott, digital media director Tamberly Ferguson, and executive producer Frank Dominguez. And special thanks as well to WDAV's Will Keibel and Mary Latham, who organized this Young Chamber Musicians competition, worked so hard at it, and will probably take a nap tomorrow. So thank you for taking time to be in the audience today, and thank you for encouraging our young performers. I think you'll agree that the future of classical music is in good hands and is very bright indeed. I'm Rachel Stewart. I hope you'll join us again next year for another edition of the Young Chamber Musicians competition presented by WDAV Classical Public Radio.